Bro, Hollywood P reacts.
What's going on YouTube? It's your dude Hollywood P back again for another video. Now as always folks, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also turn on your post notifications so that you stay up to date with all of my latest uploads. Well folks, we are back again, and as you can see from the title of this video, is Team DDG versus Team Halle, and the court date is coming soon. I think June 4th is the alleged court date that DDG and Halle will be facing off to see who will have custody of little baby Halo. Now, so we're looking at it like this, guys. DDG, you know, he's been kind of keeping his composure for the most part, taking his steam out on everybody that's coming at him, from the Soldier Boys to the Ray J's to whoever else. Anybody wants smoke, he's here for it. Deep down inside, we know he's stressed out. But, I mean, DDG keeps a poker face. You know, we've seen him break down on live when it first happened because he couldn't believe that this was his life. This was actually happening to someone like him. And I get it because it came out of nowhere. Of course, he was in Miami doing the Aiden Ross stuff, and then allegedly he got served. Guys showed up to Aiden Ross's warehouse wearing suits, like the Men in Black. They were outside, they served him, and yeah, and then everything else started happening. The next day, I think he was out, and that's when, you know, Aiden Ross read on the screen, like, why do y'all keep spamming, you know, TMZ or whatever? And yeah, and it pretty much was this. Halle Bailey, you know, filed a temporary restraining order on him and alleged that he was physically and emotionally abusing her and also financially abusing her. Now that's kind of weird. I don't know financial abuse because she's a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire. What do you mean? But I get it. You know, she's trying to throw everything. She's throwing everything at him at one time, which was overwhelming. DDG pretty much disappeared from stream, popped up like the next day or so because he didn't want to miss a day of streaming, and he was visibly shooken up. One of his eyes was a little lower than the other one, so I assumed that it was either, you know, he was crying or he was just distressed from it or something like that. I don't know. But he did, you know, kind of break down after he gave away an Amazon gift card. And after that, he kind of popped up and went back to his normal self, the way, you know, at least for the world to see. So he wouldn't be getting, you know, memes start popping up and the clips and everything. So he tried to avoid that as best as possible. But as you know, he can't speak on the case because she has that written in the restraining order that he can't speak on her or Halo or the situation. But everybody else around him still can, and which they did. You know, Baby Rich said his part. They allegedly, you know, Halle was the one, you know, doing some stuff to him. Deshae Frost just straight came out and said that Halle was slapping him in the face when he was just chilling, laying in the bed, and that she is really, really one of those ones that we hear about on some baby boy type stuff. It doesn't look like it. I mean, her voice is so soft, and, you know, the soft-spoken voice. She's the Disney princess. She's singing at, you know, Disneyland, Disney World. She's, you know, she's her. She's the Little Mermaid, and that's how we see her. But I don't, you know, behind closed doors, things don't go away. She putting the palm to face type stuff allegedly, you know. And I hope that's not what she's doing. I hope that DDG's not laying hands on her. And I hope that the marks that she showed on her arm is just from DDG restraining her. You know, she's a light complexion woman, so if somebody grabs her arm, it does show a print. You know, hopefully that's that. Hopefully he's not punching her arm, which I don't know. You know, tooth chip, where she alleging that DDG smashed her head into the steering wheel. I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I hope that DDG can keep his composure in that courtroom, because if Halle Bailey, you know, says something to Mike, he grabbed the back of my hand and slammed it into the steering wheel, and DDG know he didn't do that, he may lose his cool. He may lose his composure. Because as you know, DDG is a very quiet person when the cameras are not on him. If you ever see DDG out, when I met DDG, he was quiet. He was on stream, but he was like very low. It was like low energy. You know what I'm saying? He was like just chilling. Even though he was on stream, As soon as the camera's off him, he's really quiet. He's just standing there. Seriously. I mean, if you ever seen like photos or videos of him in the club, he's chilling. If you know what I'm saying? Unless the camera's directly on him, then he'll turn up, hold his chain up and stuff. But other than that, he's just standing there like, that's just him. So far as him putting hands on someone, I can't see it. But anything, knowing that Halle Bailey has been kind of seen like blocking him from seeing Halo, maybe tensions did rise. Maybe he snapped. I want my son. He's my son too. Because he really doesn't say anything. And it just always seems like Halle has to have the controlling, moments when it comes to Halo, and maybe he just had enough of it. And I think that's how we ended up here. Not saying that he did anything that's, on the screen, that she's saying, but maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe she's telling the truth. But then again, DDG is very, very calm about this whole situation. So maybe he does have some type of video evidence, because his house did have cameras in it, and there's cameras everywhere. So maybe he has footage, showing that Halle was really the aggressor. Now, we've seen things like this pop up in the news, even when it came to Jonathan Majors, when Grace Jabari was chasing him 7 blocks, after running from the SUV that they were in, the Cadillac Escalade, and they was just running and running. She was chasing them, looking like the aggressor. And we could have something like that, where we see DDG being chased downtown LA, chased by Halle Bailey, and he's running for his life. We may see that. I don't know. But the way they're talking, like, they do have something. They got some proof that Halle was throwing them things on Didi, and he was just trying to protect himself. I don't know. But we will see once that court date hits on, allegedly, I think, June 4th. But now, one thing that did bother me, and I think this is just lack of maybe his father being in his life or having a good role model to kind of look after, is the response that DDG recently said last night on his stream. And it kind of bothered me, because it's like, why would you even be thinking about this during a time like this, jumping right into something else? After not even really dealing with this yet. This ain't even, hit court yet. And you want to go do it again and lock it in this time. And I understand kind of the reason behind him doing this. But let's first just check this video out, and then you'll get an understanding of what I'm talking about.
My next relationship, I'm going to get married. I think my next relationship would be my last. I just feel like I'm gonna be single for so long.
And DDG, I get it, man. Right now, you're thinking about, getting to another relationship, and which I think is a terrible idea, because you're talking about getting married. Brother, look where you're at right now. Bro, we are in the hole right now, bro. We are in the hole, and we haven't even taken care of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Look at these headlines, bro. You really want to do this again? And this time it says ex-wife versus ex-girlfriend? Bro, listen, I'm not for the whole passport bro situation, man, but I prefer you even do that versus trying to go into another relationship and get married. Because, brother, look at these headlines, man. This is Vibe Magazine, BET, Billboard, CNN, ABC News, Entertainment Weekly. Brother, relationships might just not be for you. You understand what I'm saying? Look at this. Since everybody has been following you, brother, they have been around you from relationship after relationship, from Essence to Ruby Rose, Halle Bailey, Kennedy. I mean, we've been following you for a long time. And none of these women that you started out with, you finished with. And now you want to go do it again, and this time lock yourself into. This is what I say lack of male guidance can lead you down. This is what happens when your dad is not in your life. This is what happens when you don't have a father figure to give you the guidance. You understand what I'm saying? DDG's father is there, but he need to talk to his son, man. At the end of the day, Big Daryl, which is his dad, the senior, Daryl Granberry Sr., needs to talk to DDG, man, and have a real conversation with him, a real sit down with him, man. I know DDG is grown and he feels like he the muscle of the family and all that because he got the money. But sometimes, man, this is lack of guidance. For him to even be talking about getting into another relationship and to get married at that, when you're dealing with this, brother, none of your relationships have worked out. There's no need in trying to lock down something. You got to learn how to love these women better or something, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the reason why we end up here, but this is bad. In my mind, when I first heard that you were going, when Halo was born and all this, and I was just thinking, I was like, something just came across my brain, man. I was like, okay, didn't work with Ruby, didn't work with Kennedy, and he had a baby now. So if this doesn't work, this gonna be really bad, because it's not going to be just like, yeah, I broke up, and then it's just nothing. Now there's a baby involved. Now there's a child involved. You understand what I'm saying? I don't believe that a relationship is right for you right now, DD. And maybe at any point. Maybe just keep doing what you're doing. Dating women, having fun, maybe travel out the world, maybe get some girls there, something like that, if you just need like companionship. But relationships, marriage, brother, no. And we're going to be here again, and the headlines are going to read, ex-wife of DDG is found a temporary custody of her son after. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to be here again in a deeper hole. I get the reason why you want to get married. Like I said, you'll have the upper hand in court, or you'll have more of an upper hand in court versus what you got now. Because this is terrible. This is terrible. But like I say, man, the only thing we can do is pray for your situation. Team DDG versus Team Halle, and whoever was right should come out victorious in this court date. Hopefully you get more than 6 hours of visitation. Hopefully you have some type of proof, or maybe Halle Bailey was the aggressor. Hopefully we got a tape of like Jonathan Majors was running through, like I said, New York, being chased by Grace Jabari, the white woman that was chasing him through New York, I think. We need something like that, brother. Hopefully you got that proof. If you got one of them tapes, man, if you got a Grace Jabari versus Jonathan Majors tape where you were running through the city of LA downtown or somewhere, that's what you're going to need, brother. Hopefully you got it, because I know you got cameras in the house, so hopefully you got one of the ones where she was trying to Floyd Mayweather you or something, brother. And then we got a different conversation to talk about. But the way that you snapped on all the brands that are kind of backing off you right now, you must have got something. And I hope you do. You know what I'm saying? I hope you do, because you're going to need it. But anyway, folks, I am going to end it there. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, folks, as always, holla back at your boy. Peace.